What's up everyone? My name is Shaelyn and on this channel everything's all right. Literally, how is it the end of February already? Why do I look so pasty? Time for the summer. I need to get my tan on, clearly. Welcome to another episode of Breaking 10,000 Barriers. To be specific, episode 2 of season 2. As I said in last month's episode, I decided to create a different season for this year. That way, this year's episodes are separate from last year's and they're not all like messy and hard to find. As for the new regimen that I kind of came up with for doing my exercises for this series, I have done significantly better than I have been in the last several months. The goal of doing exercises once a week instead of every single day is much more realistic and doable. I want to address the obvious. We are in a different location. We're in my kitchen because I don't know about you, but I am sick of the dark room that is my I almost said August. I'm sick of the dark room that is my office during the winter months. It's so annoying. It's hard for you guys to see me. The footage doesn't really turn out all that great, so I decided to move to a better location for this episode. And honestly, until it gets brighter out, I will be probably just filming here because annoying. Let's just jump right into it. So the first category, as you know, is hand movement. First exercise is flexion and extension of my wrist. In January, same old, assisting with my able hand. February, pretty much the exact same. The next exercise is supination and pronation of my wrist. In January, it looks about the same that it has been for the last few months, I believe, since I started being able to supinate on my own, kind of, in a way. At the same time, I'm kind of just letting go of me forcing my arm into pronation. So it's kind of just like a natural reflex. But I am thinking about initiating the movement when I'm doing that, so maybe I am doing something. In February, I was like really confused with how loose my wrist was. It was like really confusing to me. And then I decided to try to pronate on my own because I haven't been able to do that up until this point. And it was just too hard, so I decided to help myself out and pronate with my able hand assisting. Okay, next exercise is opening and closing my hand. In January, I had that weird twitch in my middle finger and I was really confused by that. And then I tried opening my hand without bending my wrist too much, but I ended up needing to open my hand with my able hand anyway, so. In February, yeah, I just struggle a little bit with my middle finger. For some reason, my middle finger, my ring finger, just have such a hard time opening up as much as my index finger can. It's wild, but it is what it is, and I will accept any movement because at one point, I couldn't even do half of what I do now. A quarter even. So, moving on to the arm category. The first exercise is flexion and extension of my bicep. In January, looks about the same. Nice loose hand, I will add. And then in February, that one looks about the same. Honestly, pretty much identical. The next exercise is raising my arm straight above my head. In January, I was making a super conscious effort to make sure that my elbow straightens out when it gets to the top because I want quality movement with that instead of just throwing it up there like I had been before. And then in February, wow. Okay, I don't know if it's because I'm wearing a big baggy sweater, but my arm looks much straighter going up than it has been. And also, look at my hand. Look how spread out my fingers are and straight they are. That's interesting. The last exercise in the arm category is reaching my arm behind me. In January, I decided to try and go slow because I figured that it would be more quality movement. This one, honestly, is really, really hard for me. I've explained why in previous episodes. And then in February, I've been having a hard time with it. Like I've said, I've been needing to stretch my arm out with my able hand. I could make it go straight without my able hand intervening, but it's just easier to get through the exercise by pulling it out of its tone and kind of trying to do the reps. Yeah, that's a really hard one, and it doesn't seem to be getting that much easier, so there's always one. Moving right along to the foot category. I forgot to mention this, but I lost footage from when I filmed my exercises at the beginning of the month, so I had to refilm this yesterday. So that's why in the beginning of this video, the February clips, I have my hair down and I'm wearing something completely different. And then all of a sudden at one of the exercises in the arm category, I look completely different with a bun and a different outfit on. So sorry about that if that was confusing. First exercise is pointing and flexing my foot. In January, looks about the same that it has been. No real noticeable improvements with that one. And then in February, oh, I wish I wouldn't have worn dark socks. It's kind of hard to see with my couch in the background. Yeah, that one looks about the same too. Also, I want to say if you see me smiling at the ground at any point during my exercises in February, I was on FaceTime with my mom and my sister. The next exercise is flexing and extending my ankle. In January, it looks about the same. Once again, I feel like this is kind of a plateau month. I'm not sure, but who knows. And then in February, whoa, it looks like my foot is really big with the black socks on. It's strange. Looks about the same. Actually, it kind of looks like my ankle didn't get up as high as it usually does. So what is going on with that? The last exercise in the foot category is wiggling my toes. In January, I was getting a lot of like ankle drop when I was doing each rep, which is something to note. In February, I was able to hold my ankle upward while I tried to move my toes. So, I don't know. Moving on to the last category, the leg movement. The first exercise is kicking my butt with my heel. In January, looks about the same as December looked, I think, from what I remember. I'm not really sure. And then in February, whoa. Okay, I will say I think I was kind of throwing my foot up there. I was using a swinging motion instead of controlling the movement. So there's that, but it did seem to get quite a bit higher than it did in January, I'm not gonna lie. Oh wait, maybe not. I think I was just wearing baggy pants in January, so it's harder to see because I was wearing leggings in the February one. Okay, next exercise is the straight leg fire hydrant. In January, yeah, it looks about normal, just under 90 degrees. And then in February, my leg looks like it's a little bit bent, not gonna lie. A little bit less controlled. Although it looks higher, I think it's because my leg was bent. I don't know. Honestly, I was in a little bit of pain with my legs because I went really hard at the gym 2 days ago. So yesterday, I think I was quite a bit sore. I still am pretty sore actually. Then the last exercise of this episode is balancing on my affected leg. In January, I balanced for a total of 8.4 seconds, which is very good. It's on the higher end of what I've been able to do. And then in February, I got 10.2 seconds, which is one of the higher times that I've gotten this entire time that I've been practicing my balance. So that is really cool. Like I've said before though, there are on and off days with recovery and working on paralysis and trying to get better and everything. So you never know when you could be having an off day, a really stiff day with your muscles. And yeah, some days are just better than others, honestly, with this type type of thing. So it is what it is. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because it's free, and share. And I will see you next week for another new video. Okay, bye.